Hey everyone, so in this video we're going to go over doing a facelift on the Hilux and also Raptor painting it. The Hilux is in a bit of a need for some love, or some of the panels, most of them are dented, scratched, and the paint is starting to fade pretty badly. So we're going to give it a good birthday. So the first thing we've done was remove the bull bar, guards, bonnet, headlights. Had to get rid of the snorkel as well. Then we use the sander and some scuffing pads just to buff up the body a bit to get some extra adhesion for the Raptor. Also take off the mirrors. You can see Jessica, she was sanding the roof. She did a pretty good job. There she's using a scuffing pad. These ones were pretty good to get into the grooves where the sander couldn't. These were rated about 80 grit. Raptor recommend 80 to 120 grit when sanding. Here I bolted the panels back up. These are the facelift panels. They literally bolt straight up. And basically everywhere we sanded and there was exposed metal, we went over it with some edge primer, and then we sanded it again, went over it again. Especially underneath the car by the wheels where rocks fling up. There tended to be a lot of dents. Oh, there's a dent there. That was from four-wing. Stuff happens. So after that, we basically just taped up all the windows and started masking off everything that we didn't want to paint it. I actually forgot to get some footage of me actually cutting the hole, but so this is me just making some more clearance for the snorkel. The hole was cut pretty good, so it was pretty well ready to be painted then. So we actually built the marquee around the car. That was actually a lot harder than I thought. We were then ready to actually start painting, so we had to actually prep the Raptor paint. So you can see you get your paint can and then you get the hardener with it, and it is simple as just mixing the hardener with the paint. They give you a desired amount of hardener to put in the bottle, and then literally mix the two together, shake it around, and it is ready to spray. It is so simple to use. I recommend before spraying onto your car to actually do a test spray on a piece of cardboard or something. So with the professional application gun, you can actually change the nozzle depth, which actually changes the texture of the Raptor. So I just kept changing it until I found what I liked, and once I liked it, I sprayed it a few more times just to get a bit of an idea of how it's sprayed, and then started spraying onto the car. So when you start spraying the car, they recommend you start from the edges and work your way in, because basically you don't hit the edges as much. So if you focus on the edges, you'll get a pretty good coat on the edges, and you shouldn't have any drama with the curing and the paint finishing. So when I started to paint the front, I actually added a little bit of thinner to the Raptor mix just to get it to thin up a little bit, so it actually sprayed it a little bit better. And I reckon it was a pretty good idea. So it actually sprayed out of the gun a lot quicker and easier, and I actually found I got a better application with it. So that is maybe a good tip for those who are new to Raptoring. Add a little bit thinner and you'll have a much better time painting your car. So we finished painting the car. It took about 7 litres of Raptor. There was a bit more, but then I used the extra litre just to thicken up the paintwork a bit and blend it in a bit better in certain spots. Then we left the car overnight, come back to it the day after, and we actually started fitting some of the accessories. So we fitted the headlights, started drilling the holes for the flares to fit in, put the grill back on, and we actually ended up fitting the snorkel. So the snorkel we actually just fed through the guard, and then I marked it out with a paint pen on the pillar. Just that's how I like to do it. Some people do it the other way around, but I find this way a bit more tidy. here's just a few clips of me actually fitting the snorkel, doing it the right way, and not taking any shortcuts. After fitting the snorkel, tightening it all down, we actually left the Hilux for about 5 days to get a full cure on the Raptor. Raptor recommend that you don't get any water onto the paint within the first 3 days. So after the 5-day mark, I ended up fitting the new bull bar. So we ended up getting the armored 4x4 bar and gave us a winch cradle that suited the lift. Hard work always requires refreshment, as you can see. Ended up using an engine frame to actually support the part of FedEx that not to help me. These also come with some nice lights. Very easy to fit, like even built by yourself is very easy. And as you can see, the bar come out perfect, I reckon, for build. I ended up using a tap and die set just to clean out the bolt holes. They were full of dirt from previous off-road trips, so gave them the clean out, fitted the bash plates, and everything was done.
Hi guys, so here's the Hilux after the Raptor paint and the facelift, and it is looking better than ever. And so I would have liked to get more footage for you guys, but the whole process, there's not much to it. Like the facelift, everything bolts up, there's no modifications needed. The paint job, all the work was in the preparation, and the preparation is very repetitive, so I didn't want to just bore you guys to death with doing the same thing over and over. But overall, the main thing I wanted from the paint job and the facelift is, since I wanted to do this, I wanted a black Raptor painted ute, and so I've got that, but the gold trimmings on it was sort of a on the spot decision, and I'm glad I've done that. So we've got the gold 79 scoop, we've got the gold badge, we've got the bronze rims. It just all pieces together very nicely. Inside the car is also, I've painted the interior. I haven't shot footage of that, but there's gold accents now in there, and the whole ute together is just, it's coming together very nicely. Got the angry eye headlights. I don't like factory headlights, I reckon they're crap. So we got them, and we got the armored 4x4 bull bar. Look, it's not the strongest bull bar on the market, but it was a reasonable price, and for what we're gonna do, it's perfectly fine. We also added the Runva 13 XP winch. Haven't used it yet, and very keen to try it out. We're gonna be shooting up to Fraser soon, and I'm sure we'll probably be able to use it up there.